Hello, LinkedIn and YouTube. What's up, y'all? It's Chris. I'm back with another BizBuzz Live. It's Friday, February 6th. We're having some conversation off of what we talked about last week, which was literally just what do we need to take out of 2026? Well, today we're going to talk about what should you be putting in? What's in for 2026 when it comes to making money? Stick around. It's going to be a good show. All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of BizBuzz Live. I'm your host, Chris Muzan, your financial coach, financial strategist, financial therapist, helping you with all things finance. Super grateful to be here. We're live on LinkedIn right now, live on YouTube right now. Feel free to share this live with somebody that you know needs to hear it. Share it here on the LinkedIn platform or on YouTube because we are having conversations around money. Something some people want to talk about, something other people might not want to talk about, but something you're all thinking about, right? I often tell people that everybody is having a financial conversation. They're just not having it with us, right? Like financial professionals, they're just not having it with us. And that's the goal, is to make this more accessible. We should be able to talk more about money, not just taking information from the gurus or from the the people that are selling you some course or something like that, but really just like one-on-one, like financial conversations around like, what do I have to do to get my life to the next level, or like my finances to the next level, or get out of debt, or whatever the things are. And so that's all I've been doing for the past 12, 13 years, is just sitting down with people and educating them financially, helping them craft a plan of how to get to where they want to go. And whether people come and talk to us about their insurance or their retirement or their that just reminded me, I gotta write an email to somebody. I probably should leave that note for myself in case I forget. We need to find a way to like create something that, like, when you have a thought, it goes immediately to like paper. I don't know, that maybe be too beyond our technological advances, or maybe that's a chip that we got to put in to do that. But either way, I probably need that. So like I was saying, inevitably, right? I've been doing this over a decade. Inevitably, when we sit down with people, wherever they want to start financially, whatever financial conversation they're having in their head or with their spouse, whenever we really get to it, it really comes back to a cash flow issue. The majority of the time. Again, not everybody, but the statistics say that about 70% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Like about 7 out of every 10 people in your circle, if they missed 2 paychecks, they'd be out. They'd be out the game, right? They'd be in major debt, bankrupt, like something like that. If you just missed 2 household paychecks, think about it, right? Your family of 3 or 4, 2 people working. If both husband and wife, if both partners missed 2 paychecks, like, you're still living, everything was still fine, but you both missed out on a month's worth of pay, basically, like 2 paychecks. Most families would not be able to survive. Like, most families would not be able to last at all without income. That's a cash flow problem. All right, cash flow is what comes in and what goes out. How does my cash flow in my life, right? And we've done a good job in the financial space of talking to people about their, how to budget their money and how to track your money. I'm not here necessarily to talk to y'all about that, even though that is a part of what we do. A part of what we do is, like, you got to learn how to keep more of the money that you're making. basic financial understanding. It's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep. So at the end of the day, if you make $1 million and you spend $1 million a year, you're still paycheck to paycheck. You're still broke. You just live a different lifestyle. And that's happening. But I think as an industry, as a financial industry, we've done a good job of talking about why you need to budget or why you need to look at your money. That's why every app, every bank, everything you have has like that little, pie chart to tell you where your spending is. And things like Chime, like break it down for you. And many banks just break down like, this is how much you spent on food. And this is how much you spent on gas and miscellaneous things and groceries. Like it'll do it all for you. If you have the right bank, right program. I do that for people manually. But in general, that stuff happens, right? Where I don't think we've done a good job as an industry, as a society, I'll be honest, right? Where I don't think we've done a good job is teaching people how to bring in more money. Remember, that's not what you go to school for. Like the school system, the education system was not set up so that you could make a lot of money. It was so that you could be a worker, so that you could learn how to work for people, so that you could get competent enough skills to go off in the workforce and improve the economy for other business owners and entrepreneurs and things like that, or the government, right? Pay your taxes, all that good stuff. That's what the system was set up for. So as we get into 2026 and we start to see like, man, that go to school, get good grades, get a good job, get some higher education, get a bachelor's, master's, PhD, fourth PhD, fifth PhD, just so that I can make money, just so that I can get to a quality of life that I like. That's not panning out for most people. And some people have fallen into the trap of saying, well, I just like learning. I bet you do. Might not like paying for it. The information is commoditized. We have the internet now, right? Most colleges, most universities have their like textbooks online and like the professor's PDFs. You can get access to it if you just want to learn. You don't have to pay for it necessarily. Some people have fallen into that trap of just constantly going back to school and back to school. They forgot that the beginning reasons that they did that was because they thought it was going to bring them more opportunity, not because they just wanted to learn. It's because they thought with the knowledge that they had, that would put them in a position to make more money, to have a better job, to put themselves in a position where financially they were fine. For some people that plays out. For the masses, for the majority of people, that's not how it's working in 2026. So what we haven't done a good job of in the financial industry is teaching people ways to make other money, and not just teaching them the mindset behind why you need to earn money and learn how to earn money. If you've been sticking around on BizBuzz for any bit of time here, I've said this before and I'll continue to say it. There's 3 stages to money. There's earning it, there's saving it, and then there's investing it. Earn, save, invest, right? And most people are really focused on the investing part, the third step, right? It's literally in that order. They're focused on the investing part, but where we haven't done a good job is focusing on the earning part. How does one earn money? If the only way we know to earn money is through a job, we're limited. If the gig economy is the way you've learned to earn money, Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Instacart, Amazon Flex, dog walking, house sitting, those things, if that's the way you learned how to earn money, that'll limit you. As somebody that is a business owner and an entrepreneur, understanding that side of things can create a little bit more freedoms and a little bit more, but it brings a ton more emotional and mental responsibility. And that might not be for people either, because they don't know how to handle the mental, emotional, stressful side of being an entrepreneur. So that makes their journey harder. But we have to help people learn how to earn money. I don't know what's right for you. I'm talking to you on LinkedIn and YouTube. I don't know what's right for you, But here's what I know. What I know is we have to become more mindful and intentional about how we're earning money. We have to be more mindful, intentional about learning new skill sets, learning new ways of going about creating income for ourselves. We have to be able to do that. We have to adapt. We have to change. I think it was last week, it might have been the week before, talk about the, the millennial crisis. I think I shared that video with you guys about the millennial crisis and all these millennials, right, that are like in their early 30s or like or mid 30s are like starting to change. They're starting to want to change their career. They've been working in their career for 7 to 12, 7 to 15 years. And now they've realized this isn't getting me to the life that I want. I'm not fulfilled. I'm not happy. I'm barely getting by financially. Maybe I have golden handcuffs where I make enough money, but I really don't like my job or it takes a lot from me. And there's this reckoning of, man, things need to change. The way I earn money or my lifestyle needs to change, because those are the two controllable things in cash flow. What comes in and what goes out. So what comes in is how do we learn to make more money? How do we learn to earn different money? How do we learn how to go off and build something that benefits our family? That's the earning part. The other side of the budgeting, tracking, like learning where your money goes, the only thing that changes that is you changing your lifestyle. You moving from the big city to the small town. You downsizing your home. You changing how you choose to eat. You changing your car, downsizing your car, selling off your things, literally changing your lifestyle will also create more income opportunities. Listen, I moved from California to Pennsylvania 8 years ago. California to Pennsylvania. Huge jump. I happen to be from Pennsylvania, right? So it is what it is. But California, when you leave there, you realize how much you've been paying for, right? Like the cost of living in a place like a California, Southern California, is a lot. And it's not that you can't make it. It's not that there are people there that aren't living there forever and aren't successful and have money. But if you changed your lifestyle and you moved across the country and you moved to a smaller town, you moved to a more rural town, your money will go further. That's just a given. That's why 3 years ago up till now, the mass exodus from California to Texas to Tennessee to places with less state tax to all the stuff to Puerto Rico. Right? Like people are going to Puerto Rico because like you don't have to pay taxes over there, right? So all of these are the things that can change if you need to change your lifestyle. But I want us to focus on how do we bring in more, because I think there's some things there. Last week I talked to you guys about what to take out for 2026. We're a month into 2026, and I said, hey, there's some things we just got to take out. We got to take out depending on a job for our financial freedom and security. Got to take that out. It was last week I talked about the millennial career crisis, that there is no more security in having the job. The corporate, like you can listen to all the stuff, and maybe that's not on your feed, but that's a ton on my feeds here on LinkedIn, right? Over on TikTok, is just talking about how hard the workforce is right now, how tough it is to be a woman in the workforce. That's why women were leaving the workforce. How tough it is to be a millennial, how tough it is to be a parent, how tough it is to actually make money and keep a job or find a job. Like just the whole thing is crazy. So just know we can't in 2026, you got to know you can't depend on that moving forward. I'm not saying you have to jump ship immediately, but you have to know the long-term trajectory here is that there's not going to be much freedom or security on the plantation. I mean, having a job. Again, things we need to take out: non-creative thinking, single-mindedness, complaining, non-collaborating. Those are all the things we need to take out. That's what we talked about last week. Let's talk about what we need to put in to our lives right now if you want to develop the financial fortitude to get your family over the hump. Number one, you need dependable, reliable streams of income. Dependable, reliable streams of income. Say it with me. Dependable, reliable streams of income. One more time for the kids in the back. Dependable, reliable streams of income. We lived through a time, and we still are, where people say, gotta have multiple streams of income. What's it like to have multiple streams and ways to make money and you make none of it? I know so many people. I've coached so many people down this path. And until I have a relationship with them, it's really hard to tell them like that they're falling into the trap of like all the other entrepreneurs that have the right idea of like, man, I know I want to do, I need to, it could be easy to do something like this on the side. And then I come across people that have 3, 4, 5 multiple streams of income, right? Like different streams of income, 3, 4, 5 of them. Oh, I could do this. I'm a notary. I could do taxes. I could do this. I have a landscape business. I have a small, I sell food on the weekends. I do this, like I got all these things. And none of them make you enough money to allow yourself to stop doing it. They bring in enough money for you to have a little side money, for you to barely pay the bills, for you to like kind of get through, but they're not dependable and reliable that they're going to be able to expand. They're going to be able to grow. So just having multiple streams of income is not enough. Just because you have many ways you could make money doesn't mean you're making any money at all. It's something we've just lived through that's been a huge eye opener to me, is that when people hear this rhetoric of like millionaire has 7 streams of income, one, they didn't get it all at the same time. They weren't doing 7 different things at one time to be able to, right, build all the streams. They normally picked 1, maybe 2 things that they just focused on and honed in on, and then they diversified and found other ways, verticals, to be able to make income. So they weren't just limited to one thing. They weren't just limited to one revenue generator. But just having multiple doesn't mean that they're reliable. It doesn't mean that, like, if I asked you, hey, I need you to go make $3,000 next month, otherwise, right, I'm going to take your house. You know what I mean? Like $3,000. That's all. Outside of your job and outside of working overtime, we posed this question on LinkedIn a while back. The actual poll that we had put up said, like, you know, what would you do if you had to go make an extra $3,000 next month without working overtime or getting a second job? What would you go do? Even if you did, we might not even have to eliminate the second job, because likely if you went to get a second job, you would not make $3,000 next month, right? Like, just because of the job process, the interview, the onboarding, the training, the waiting to get hired, the clogging in. By the time you're at it almost takes a month to onboard someone to even get a check. And that first check, you know, is tiny. So you already missed the window, even if that's why it's really not an option. But if we threw it in there, people wouldn't make it happen. But what would you do to go make $3,000? Outside of you have all your faculties, all your options. We don't know. That's the problem. We don't know what we would go do. And that's where I'm encouraging all of us. We got to put that in for 2026. You got to know, I need something reliable. I need a reliable stream of income that I know if I need to make $3,000, I know exactly what to do. Because it probably just comes down to, I'm not doing something. That's what I want. I want you to have ownership over your actions and your attitude, like your activity. If you said, hey, I need to go make this, I want you to, in your power, go be able to make that happen. If that means you still have to work an extra 5 hours a day, extra 7 hours a day, extra 60 hours a week to go make it happen, but you know that the path to making money on that side, that's a reliable stream of income. That's a reliable stream. You might not be maximizing it right now. That's fine. You might be distracted. You might have other things. But if push came to shove, would you know, hey, I could tap into that thing over there. If I make X amount of calls, if I talk to X amount of people, if I go see X amount of businesses, if I am live X amount of times, if I open up extra hours, like if I do those, it'll generate me more. That's what I want you to have in 2026. Reliable, dependable, reliable streams of income. One more time, dependable, reliable streams of income. Okay, so that's what we got to put in. Here's the second thing we got to put in 2026. We have to put in some creative thinking. We have to get more creative, ladies and gentlemen. It's never been a better time. It's never been a better time to create what you're thinking about. It's never been easier. It's never been a simpler time. We talked about AI. We're going to continue to talk about AI because it's not going anywhere, y'all. It's not going anywhere. It's still going to be here. So we can talk about it. But with that, it's made it so simple for you to create what you're thinking about. If we are more creative. If you're more creative, if you can everything that you see, y'all, everything out here started with someone thinking about it. It started with someone saying, hey, can we put someone on the moon? Hey, can we drive a car? Hey, can we fly? Hey, you think it would be possible to scuba dive, to go underwater 10,000 feet? Like, do you think these things are possible? And then someone built it. Like, do you think it's possible for us to have a robot clean our house and someone builds it, right? You need to be more creative in your thinking in 2026. You may not execute on every thought you have, but maybe just writing down a journal, just having a thought journal, a creative thought journal could be good for you. Just having a creative thought journal. Hey, every time you have a creative thought, write it down all year long. Don't think about it and then just let it fly out of your mind because 6 months later, you completely forgot that you even had that idea. And it was the genius idea that was going to make you millions of dollars. You've all had that feeling watching Shark Tank, right? You've all had that feeling where it's like, that's so simple. I thought of that. Man, I thought of that 4 years ago. Man, that product is so simple. Like, I can't believe it. I do the same thing. I just never thought. Right? You've all had that moment. You saw another business out. You're like, man, I was going to do the same thing. I just never. That's why you have a creative journal, so you can go execute on the creative side, because that will, again, the reason why we're here is to talk about how to learn to earn money. Learning to earn money starts with creativity. You got to think. If you just want to work and be a worker, you don't need to be creative. You just work. You need to learn how to do your job. In 2026, it's not going to cut it, y'all. You got to learn how to be creative. All right? Here's the third thing we need to put in to 2026. You need to be a better problem solver. You need to be able to identify problems and then creatively think of solutions to solve those problems. You have to there's so many problems in the world. There's so many issues. There's so many challenges in our families, in our communities, in our society. There's so many, and they all have an answer, or at least if you're creative enough to think about an answer, they all have some form of a solution. You need to be a problem solver. You need to go find the problems that you're passionate about, that you care about, that hit your heart, and say, you know what, I'm gonna do something about this. I'm gonna create something that's gonna make this better. Don't just sit back and complain. We talked about that last week. We don't need complainers. 2026, we have enough people complaining and whining and moaning. We have enough of it. There's too many people that just sit here on LinkedIn and YouTube and all the other platforms and just complain. You're just upset. You're just bitter. We don't need that. If you want to win, if you want to build your financial life, if you want to earn more, if you want to get to your financial goals and dreams, if it's not just about pinching pennies and you want to live in abundance, financial abundance, right? Like, can't complain. You got to get it done. You got to make it happen. You got to solve some problems. In 2026, you need to get better at solving problems. Okay. Lastly, fourth thing, 2026, we got to put in collaboration. Collaboration, working together, adding value to other people. Adding value to other people. One of the best ways to get a job, you're trying to get a job here on LinkedIn, right? Here's one of the best ways to get a job. Find the companies, my opinion, find the people that you want to work for. Because at the end of the day, we work for people. We quit because of people, not because of companies. You've seen that meme here on LinkedIn probably, where it says people don't leave bad companies, they leave bad leadership, right? Or bad management. It's true. It's a people thing. The name, the logo, the name of the company doesn't matter as much if you're working for good people and you believe in what the company is doing. Doesn't matter as much, right? So adding value, back to how to get the job if you want to get a job. You add value to people. Go find the people that you would want to work for, figure out what their needs are, problem solving. Figure out how you can serve that need with your skill set, with your talent, and then give it to them. Don't tell them, give it to them. Like actually do it for them. Do the chart, do the analytics, do all the things that show them and give them insight to help them fix that problem. It's a lot different than writing a resume. It's a lot different than emailing your CV over. Collaboration is what we need in our society. We need to collaborate. We need community. We need people with like minds and diverse skill sets to come together and build. That was a bar. I just thought of that. But for real, we need people with like minds and diverse skill sets to come together and build something great. Hey, we all want to get here, but you do this well, and you do this well, and I do this well. Okay, let's come together and build something. Collaboration. No more, it's all me. I just do it for me and me. No. Go find the people that think like you, that are headed in the direction you're going, that have complementary skill sets. I've said this on another BizBuzz Live before, but in the book, The E-Myth by why am I forgetting his name? Michael Gerber. The E-Myth by Michael Gerber says in there's like a three-headed monster when it comes to building a business. You need the entrepreneur, you need the technician, you need the manager. You need all three of those things. They all have different skill sets. Your technician is the person that knows how to do the work of the business. If you are a plumbing company, right, you need a plumber. Like you need a master plumber. If you're an electrical company, you need a master electrician. Like you need someone that knows the craft. You can't, if you're opening a restaurant, you need a chef. Like you need someone that knows food and knows how to cook and all the things, right? That's the technician part. The manager part is you need the systems to be put in place. You need SOPs, you need policies and procedures, you need HR, you need people, you need emails, you need systems put in place. A manager, someone that is what we call structured minded. I was losing my thought. Structured. Like, there's some people that they would love to organize your chaos. Like that's their strength. Their strength is like, I like organizing this chaos. I like putting it all together and put it in folders and spreadsheets and make it really simple for everyone to see it. That's how I operate. I'm not a technician. And thirdly, I'm not an entrepreneur. That's the person at the head of the ship that's seeing which way to go. That's saying, hey, there's an iceberg that way, go this way. Hey, there's a storm up ahead coming. Let's turn and go this way. They're calling the shot. They have the vision. They can see what's up ahead. That's another person that needs to be in the business. All three of those things are important to running a business. But here what's great. You don't have to be all three. This is why businesses fail. You don't have to be all three. But can you collaborate? Can you find like-minded people that have diverse skill sets, that have complementary skill sets? If you are the entrepreneur, can you find the technician and can you find the manager? If you're the manager, can you find the entrepreneur that needs you to organize his mess? If you're the technician, can you find the entrepreneur that understands what you can do in business, right? Like that's how we win. We've gone through the cycle where it's this self-made, I've been doing it all myself. No. We need community more than ever now. You're watching it in our society. We need community more than ever. And in business, in learning to earn money, we need community. We need to collaborate. These are things we got to put in for 2026, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to continue to grow your financial life. Remember, we're talking about how to earn money. Not the same old, not the go to school, get good grades, get a good job, get some higher education, get a better job, buy a house, invest all your money in the stock market, and you're going to be financially free. That's the path they gave us, right? Like, I'm not oversimplifying it. Like, that's literally what they told us. Go to school, do really well in school so that you can go to college. When you go to college, you'll be able to come out and get a job. That job is going to give you some benefits. You're going to start investing for retirement when you're in your 20s. Then you're going to go off and buy a house. That house is going to build your equity. You're going to keep investing your money in the stock market, and you might buy one other piece of rental property, or maybe two. Married, kids, private schools, and then you're going to retire and life is going to be good. That's what they sold us. If that don't work in 2026, do you have another way to go? You can go that path. That's fine. But look up ahead. Look up ahead. How many people are successful on that path? How many people enjoy that path? How many people are fulfilled on that path? How many people have life where they want it on that path? How many people have student loan debt on that path? How many people have credit card debt on that path? How many people are house poor on that path? How many people live paycheck to paycheck on that path? Proof is in the pudding. I'm not telling you which way to go. I'm telling you, we got to add some things in 2026 if we want to get better. If you're not happy with where you are financially, or you know there's more, we got to do some different things. What did I talk about today? The different things that we have to often do. We got to create, say it with me, dependable, reliable streams of income. Dependable, reliable streams of income. Things that you know you can go tap into from your work ethic. Just if I go do more work here, I'll make more. Not just at the job, because then it's going to take taxes, and the more you make, the more they take. You're only limited to so many hours. Your job will not let you work 112 hours that week. Like, they just won't let you do it, right? They're not going to pay you that much. There's only a limit, but you need something out there that you can go off and say, you know what, I can go make this money if I need to. Dependable, reliable sources of income. Second, creative thinking. We got to think better. We got to get more creative. We got to start to use our brain. Don't let AI take you away from your creativity. Just because it's helpful or it's efficient, don't let it take you away from how creative you can be. Okay? It's the creative thinking. It's never been easier to make anything you want, to create anything you want. Use AI as a tool that'll help you create those things. 3, be an efficient problem solver. Be better at problem solving. Find problems and solve them. That's how money comes. If you solve big problems, you make big money. Solve small problems, you make small money. Selling someone jewelry is a small problem. That's not a big deal, right? It's just things that people want. You go figure out how to lower someone's energy bill, right? It's a bigger problem for a lot of people. You go figure out how to help people not live paycheck to paycheck, bigger problem. You want to take it to your community? Can you figure out how your city cleans up homelessness? Bigger problem. You can figure out how we can get kids more literate? Bigger problem. You figure out how we can stop global warming? Huge problem. Make more money if you become a better problem solver. 4th thing, collaboration. You got to collaborate, y'all. We got to start working together as a society if we want to make more money. That's what this is for. It's not just the altruistic side of like what a society should be. Part of it is that, but part of it is You need to get ahead financially. If you're going to play in this capitalistic society that we're in, good, bad, and different, love it or hate it. Again, you hate it, just leave, right? If you hate it, just leave the country. It's really that simple. I'm not trying to be callous about it, but like, again, we're not doing complaining in 2026. Right? We're not doing any complaining. Of course, there's the ills of the world and you should voice your opinion, but we're not just going to sit back and complain all the time. If you don't like it, leave. If you don't like it, change. If you don't like it, don't pay attention to it. Don't participate. Like, you have a choice to do all those things. What happens to your quality of life? Not sure, but you can make a choice. But we need to collaborate. We need to work together so we can go build things for our family, y'all. I told you today it was going to be a good show. I gave you a bunch of things, like things that you can ponder and think about. How creative are you? How much do you work out your creative muscle? Maybe that creativity journal is something that you can implement for yourself. And come July, you got a full-on business going because you were so creative, and one of them really stood out. The one that you thought about on April the 12th that you wrote down was like, that's the business idea. And then by July, you had a full business going, all because you chose to write a creativity journal. I'm not sure how it plays out for you, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm here to help you. Right? Every time I say things like that, I always think of John Maxwell. John Maxwell always says, hey, my name is John, and I'm your friend. Right? He always wants to remind you so that you can take coaching from him, so that you know that he has your best interest, right? He's not just trying to sell you a thing. He tells you, hey, my name is John. I'm your friend. Hey, my name is Chris. I'm your friend. I want to help. Got to think differently. I got to challenge you. Got to challenge you to think differently. These are things that are going to help you. I'll be back next Friday. I think my daughter has a gymnastics meet, but I think I'll still be able to do this, and then we'll bounce out afterward. We have a 3-hour drive, so we'll be fine. We'll be back next Friday for BizBuzz Live. Hey, share this with drop some comments in the chat, by the way. Drop some comments. You're watching this on the replay. Drop your comments. What are you thinking? What are you thinking what else needs to be in 2026? I gave you 4 of them. Maybe you just need to practice those things and see how your financial life changes. You got any questions? Shoot me a message. Shoot me a DM. Shoot me a message. I'm super accessible. More than happy to have a conversation with you. Help you get your life to where you want it to go. Until next week, though, y'all. Peace.